Hi Lucky, after 2.5 years, as you promised, here we are to talk about your just released new album.
Hi guys, welcome to all of you on Nightwings Blade.
So, in the last interview we talked about your probable new musical direction to speed and thrash metal.
Oh no, ignore that affirmations. During the tracks recordings of this album, and now, for the moment, we decided to remain anchored to the good and old hard heavy rock and classic metal. Because of excluding the songs Easy Here, Holding in Tight the Lines Part 2 and Rock Room, the rest of the 8 tracks now, excluding the 2 instrumental covers, and so are 6, have about 20 years old age.
I noticed that the following songs, Lonely Night Rider and obviously Holding in Tight the Lines Part 2, were included in your first presentation's EP.
Yeah, exactly. But what is the difference?
Then these 2 new versions are instrumental ones.
Exactly. And this is the real key that opened the door that shows the real truth of this new album's production. With these tracks, some of them have an old production. We wanted to do some instrumental versions. But pay attention, these aren't the same old guitar versions, but simply with a guitar or a keyboard that play the vocals lines melody. That's why the title of the album, the imaginary Mr. Rock and Metal that meet instrumental stuff.
Just 3 songs have the lead vocals.
To be precise, are Desert City and our piece of music of the 80s with a very hard flavor, a new track called Rock Room, and a live version from a concert near Como from the far 90s.
Okay, shall we start to talk about the tracks of your new album?
So, Easy Here was composed about 2 years ago and recorded for the last February 2017. In it there's 4 guitar solo sections with 4 very different guitar styles. I will say, a track with a large use of the wah pedal in a particular way for the vocals melody, but not only for that one. This is a clear tribute to my old youth guitar heroes, but in real they are still now, like for example Jimi Hendrix, Joe Satriani, and in a certain way to his greatest Satriani's guitar's pupil, Mr. Steve Vai. Then, if we want to talk about the guitar with a more mechanics point of view, during the guitar solos there are also good use of the bottleneck, slide, harmonics, tremors, bar, etc. In conclusion, reading our thanks fully in the CD's booklet, you will easily understand my guitar's references.
Reading the thanks, although it isn't so difficult to understand it, you can understand why of that 2 covers, instrumental too.
Yes, okay, it's true, but don't go one step over the line. So, Desert City, as I said, has been composed years ago. It has a very hard sound. In this case, we wanted referring to several hard rock bands over the past years. A Desert City for old first year of rock and roll. You're listening so much of that in this track, enough to quench you the first thought.
As a guitar lover, I wanna do this question. In the solo session you play tapping with a great clean and precise style as a guitar hero. How do you succeed it?
That are things of many years ago. But seriously, I, talking my guitar roots, come, more or less contemporaneously, from the classical guitar and the later guitar, and from the beginning by jazz, blues and some country. It should be seem incredible, but just after that with rock and metal. The fact, at its time, I was about 13 or 14 years old, or begin to put a finger of the right hand over the fretboard, to articulate some pull-offs and hammer on with the left hand fingers, it hasn't been so difficult. It was a sort of synthesis of what it has been studied from the past till that moment, especially with the classic guitar.
Blues, rock, jazz, classical, metal. How do you succeed to let live all it is in a simultaneous way?
Alright, years ago I read in a rock magazine about a famous heavy rock guitar player from the band from California called Dokken. So it wasn't so difficult to understand who he is. So he said that very often his guitar solos recordings were the result of a synthesis work from some of his guitar reference points in terms of guitar players by blues, rock, hard rock and heavy metal. In this context, the same thing is good for me. I think that what we could call inspiration is a different thing of what we should call a simple guitar solo scoping.
Nowadays, so much musicians, and not only, in the heavy metal context, tend to separate in a neat way what is purely heavy to the rest, from the images side to the real music's point of view. After all these years of music repertory and so much heavy metal loping generally could be possible, what do you think about?
Well, look, for example, the fact of playing some series of groups of 4 notes like C, A, G, and again A with an heavy metal guitar accompaniment, it means playing in equal mode a fragment of an A pentatonic scale. And as you know, pentatonic scales are the base of the blues and many things from jazz. Alright, if you're talking about the rhythm, the general structure of a song, that's okay. But for the rest, I think that in the majority of the cases, some much musical stuff passes before through the blues. We want to talking about classical music stuff? Oh, then we could sing in shore with Mr. Mountain and company. Anyway, to bring it to a conclusion this answer, in my opinion we should, I do it, and do it forever. Passing before through for the great music reference points of the past. So we could finally tell classical, blues and jazz music for all, and everyone for itself. So let's go on with the next CD's track, Black Lady.
Listen to that music, it seems having a sort of 80s sound.
Yeah, in fact, at its time, it was composed in that period. We wanted to concentrate with a sort of Black Sabbath sound, as you know, Ronnie James Dio, and something like that. Obviously, the title of the track, I think it could speak for itself. Just to understand its music atmosphere, maybe.
Let's go on with the next track, Holding Inside the Lines Part 2.
Well, as so many people should know, it's pulled from our first EP with the same title of the song that we are talking about. But in this case, it's an instrumental version.
Who played the keys for the vocals line?
I don't want to tell you.
Okay, Intro plus Lonely Night Rider, the mega classical guitar hero. It's your execution. Did you compose it too?
Alright. The famous classical guitar intro. Oh no. The first part is from a violin studio by Jacob Dont, a famous Austrian violinist, composer and teacher of the 19th century. The song is clear in pure Deep Purple style or Rainbow style. The Blackmore's band after the Deep Purple.
Love and Illusion.
I would say a very rock blues tinted song with at the end large guitar solos, spaces,
Like in this case, the vocal parts were recorded by you, didn't it?
Yeah, sure.
Let's go on the next track, Rock Room, second album's track with vocals.
Exactly, the second one. It's the most strong, even aggressive track of the entire album. It talks about, in few words of the text, how is the relation between the outside and inside of our being, in brackets, a rocker, and how is the own rocker room, too. I won't forget, the lead vocals in this song is Dan Query.
Let me say that it is a clear Maiden style song.
Yeah, I quite agree with you. In the middle of the song, in the 5/4 tempo, there are some little progressive peculiarities too.
Okay, here we are at the two covers. Caught in the Middle by Dio with this song. I mean, it's not one of his greatest hits.
Yes, it's true, and you know, it's strange, but it's a song that till I was about 15 and 16 years old, and there were the far 1985-86, and Dia's Holy Daughters album, where it also included this song, was released quite recently. Anyway, it was a song that liked me so much. So, when some years ago, just in case, I listened to the radio, I knew about the Ronnie James Dio's death, I decided to make a sort of tribute. In the CD's booklet, there's also a dedication for him too.
Then there is that impressive Ozzy's Crazy Train, where, let me say, your solo's version, after listening of several ones, captures the real Randy Rhoads guitar style and music spirit. I wanna compliment you.
Okay, I simply tried to enter in the right mood, but it wasn't so difficult, you know. It's a kind of music that I'm listening from a long time ago, you know. And sometimes good hearings, it means good playing. And I want to remember that is an instrumental version too.
The vocals line with the keys has been recorded by you. It's because, you know, it's a fine performance.
I won't tell you anyway. What is sure is our music we are played with own fingers and not recorded with the digital programs, as in these years so many people do.
The last track of the album is a live version of State of Mind of a long time ago, right?
Yes, with Frankie Redcar Rossi as the lead vocals. I remember that he used to come to do the rehearsals with a red Alfa Romeo car. Anyway, it's about a quite fast and a very heavy song.
Do you want to say to us something about the production?
Yes, sure. I want to thank the friend Adriano Forti for its graphic and illustrating tribute, Marco Only Classic Guitar Bazzotti for its audio tribute, and obviously the auto production by the Kith Studio Collection of Milan. The CD will also be easily available online. And at last, a great greet to the CI Association for the rights reserving and copyright.
Okay, Lucky. Some greetings to the fans.
Sure. Okay. See ya, guys. See summer on tour and stay rock on Nightwings Radio's Blade.